Welcome to the second episode of the random RCDB Coasters and Parks series, and if you are new to the series, pretty much what I do is I get 10 random coasters on RCDB, I discuss and react to all of them, and then I decide which coasters of the 10 are the best, the worst, and the weirdest. After that, I look at each park each coaster is located at, and then I will pick which park looks like the best, and which one looks like the weirdest. Also, I will give a quick warning that this series may feature some images that are not child friendly simply because I have no control over what parks or coasters I will get, and that may have, and these rides, I guess, and parks, I guess, they may have some scary or weird theming. So without further delay, let's jump right into this, and from here on out, it's also unscripted, so let's go ahead and see our first coaster. We get Untamed at Wallaby Holland. That's actually pretty incredible. This is probably going to be the best coaster we get. I mean, this coaster looks fantastic. I believe 5 different inversions. One of the more balanced RMCs in terms of just both having great airtime moments and inversions. I mean, Untamed, definitely, I think I'd consider it a top tier RMC, or at worst, it's like the better of the medium, not medium, the middle tier. For RMC coasters. I mean, this thing looks absolutely amazing. So, I mean, I can't wait to ride it. I think it's the best coaster in the Netherlands. Or actually, I don't know. Because I'm trying to think. Actually, I don't know about that. It's definitely one of the best coasters in all of Europe, though. So, like, definitely looks fantastic. So we got Untamed for our first coaster at Wallaby Holland. Our next coaster is F.L.Y at Phantasialand. We don't know a whole lot about this ride, but man, that's another one that's pretty incredible. We know it will be the world's first flying launch coaster, and I believe it will also be the world's longest, yes, flying coaster. So that's definitely something to look forward to. It says opening in 2020, it might be 2021. We'll just have to wait and see, but another really cool coaster. Next, we get Lightning at Kuwait Entertainment City in Kuwait. It apparently is standing but not operating, but this is a B&M invert. That's a Batman clone. Very interesting. So another really good ride. We're actually getting some good rides here. Really good ones. This might be the worst coaster we've gotten, and that's like crazy because a Batman clone is still like really good, all things considered, especially for a random RCDB Coasters video. So I'm very impressed with the lineup we've gotten. This one, I don't like the color scheme that much. I mean, the red, it looks like it needs a repaint anyways, and the silver supports, or I guess the gray supports, it's just not the most appealing color. It has this weird cactus thing right next to it. Maybe that goes along with the lightning theming. I don't even know. That doesn't even make sense. It looks like it has a little trench with some water. That's kind of cool. Cool near miss element. But yeah, pretty cool coaster actually. A cool Batman clone. I mean, it's nice to get some good coasters, some really good ones. Montaña Rusa in Morocco is the one we get next. This is a Zyklon coaster. Not really too much to see here or too much to say. It might be a contender for the worst coaster just because these coasters, they just don't really do a whole lot. They're kind of rough, and this one doesn't look like it's in the best shape. But I mean, if that's the worst coaster we get, I think that's not too bad, all things considered. But yeah, Crazy Park, what a name. That'll be an interesting park to look at when we get there. Next, we have Force One coaster in Kid City in Indonesia, which actually, wait a minute, I think this is one that's in a coaster parody. Yes, Force One coaster. I like the entrance. That's pretty cool. I think I've actually seen this coaster. Yeah, it goes inside and outside of a building, so that's pretty cool. For a more of a kiddie style coaster than anything else. It is definitely more on the unique side. It might be one of the weirder coasters, although I don't know why it has Jurassic Adventure on the trains. Maybe that's used to be something it was themed to. It has some light theming around. Like, it's pretty solid for like a kind of a kiddie coaster. Looks pretty good actually. I like it. And yeah, probably this could definitely be one of the weirder coasters we get. So another pretty interesting ride. I'm very impressed with what we have gotten so far. Kid City in Indonesia Force 1 coaster, Azir Force 1 model. Yep. The next coaster we get is another Montaña Rusa. This one in Jalisco Park in Cuba. Mylar Manufacturing, not to be confused with E&F Mylar. And it's just a kiddie coaster. Pretty standard. Nothing really too much to see here. There's a lot of pictures, but I don't really... I mean, there's not a whole lot of even theming to it, so... I'm not gonna go through everything, but there's that. We get another Montaña Rusa in Argentina. Holy cow. This is a roller coaster that's basically, it has twin helix, I guess. So not a whole lot to see here. It looks like in terms of the coaster, it's like unknown manufacturer at Pecos Multi-Park. Interesting. So that might be an interesting park to look at. The next one we get is Atomic Coaster, a Senyo coaster that is now defunct that used to operate at Beijing Amusement Park. This ride, it doesn't look the best. Looks very much like an Aero corkscrew model. Very reminiscent of that. The train, though, I do like that. That's pretty cool. But the actual coaster itself, not the greatest thing in the world. The restraints look, does it have like, what in the world? Oh wait, no, those are just the things on the seat. I thought it had like an extra two over the shoulder harnesses, so I was confused, but no, it just has the one. Thankfully. It operated for, looks like, if my math is correct, 32 years. So that's pretty solid. But yeah, not one of the best coasters we've gotten, that's for sure. The next one we get is Technic Coaster. We actually get a coaster I've ridden at Legoland, California. Just a typical Wild Mouse, but actually I would say it's probably the best, like, just regular Wild Mouse coaster I've ridden. It's comfortable, and yeah, I mean, it's comfortable, and there's a few... Actually, it's not the best. Psycho Mouse is the best, but outside of Psycho Mouse, I would say this is the second best. Pretty comfortable, and I think there were a few like solid just moments of airtime. I think even a little bit, not obviously anything that insane, but it wasn't absolutely like weak, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And the last coaster we get is Space Mountain at Disneyland, another coaster I've ridden. This very well could have been the first coaster I ever rode. It was definitely among like my first 5. So I actually haven't ridden this since 2012. So I need to go back on it. But a very fun family coaster. One of the best family coasters out there, for sure. Especially comparing it to the version at Magic Kingdom, which a lot of people don't like. So, alright, so for the coasters, I think the best one, we're going to have to go Untamed here. We got some pretty cool ones also, like Fly and Lightning, and even Space Mountain is definitely a good coaster, but I think Untamed definitely takes the cake. For the worst coaster, I mean, I think we're just going to go with our Cyclone. Inner Park Cyclone, I guess. Yeah, we'll go with that. And then for our... I guess weirdest coaster, I think we'll go with Force 1. I mean, Force 1 coaster, it kind of goes inside and outside of a building, so that's pretty interesting. And the name, I mean, it's a joke, so like, yeah. Also, it never was named Jurassic Adventure, so that also makes it a little weird. Just kind of a strange coaster, but a good looking one, in terms of a kiddie coaster, so that's pretty awesome. So now we'll go into parks. So Wallaby Holland will be our first one. There's not any pictures of the park. That's really sad. This I would say would probably be one of the better parks we got, at least from what I know. The next one we have is Fantasialand, and this park is amazing. Absolutely beautiful park and really well themed. Chiapa is one of the best water rides in the entire world. The Wave Swinger looks nice, and it has some awesome looking fountains. That looks really cool. Wow, that's a really nice looking carousel. Double decker too, really nice. And it's under the shade, which is nice. One of the better drop towers out there, from what I understand. Some nice buildings. Another picture of Chiapas. Oh, I think this is Talocan. This ride looks really fantastic. Aztec themed, it appears, and I mean, it looks incredible just watching it go. It seems like a ride that's more fun to actually watch than the ride, but I'm sure riding it is fun. But it's a really cool flat ride. Like even their family rides look pretty cool, as you can see here. That looks kind of weird, but that's also cool. I forget what this thing is called, but I've heard it's amazing. This water raft ride, I've heard it's incredible. Yeah, they have a lot of cool rides. This is definitely one of the best parks on the entire planet. They do also have a few older style dark rides that they are kind of charming, I've heard, but they obviously aren't like the greatest things in the world. But they do have some rides that are like absolutely fantastic. So, and they have Tehran too. So like, and F.L.Y, which we of course got, and Black Mamba. So yeah, that park, Fantasia Land, probably the best out of the ones we've gotten. And there's some pretty stiff competition with Wallaby Holland and Disneyland, which we'll look at in a little bit. But next we have Kuwait Entertainment City. I actually got a park in this country in the last video. The entrance area, it has an interesting design, I'll say that. Pretty interesting. Very colorful. That's pretty cool. I'll definitely say it's a very colorful looking park, which is nice. The ship looks pretty cool. It looks like they have a lot of fountains, which is also very nice. The map, it doesn't look like the largest park, but it's decent sized, it looks like. Looks like an Asian style building, which is cool. So they have some, at least a little bit of theming here and there. Cowboy carousel. Doesn't look like they actually have a whole lot of cowboy theming, but I guess they just decided to call it that because why not? More fountains. These look really cool. Yeah, that I don't know what's going on there. I was really lost there. That didn't look. I think that was probably like a mascot who was on break or something. Two inverting flat rides right next to each other. That's really cool. That's really unique. So for a park that I've never heard of, they do have some cool stuff. More colors, very colorful, which is really nice. Obviously not the greatest park in the world, but I don't think there's a whole lot of parks in this country anyways. So it's definitely nice to see that they have something pretty solid with Kuwait Entertainment City. It looks like a pretty nice park, all things considered. Next, we have Crazy Park. What a name. That's kind of scary. I think that's a clown. It looks like it could use a lot of uplift. This Ferris wheel looks like it at one point looked nice, but I don't know. It doesn't look like the best right now. They have some flat rides, which is cool. Some a 40 theater. I think that's what it is. Yeah, this park. I think it could definitely use a lot of upgrading. A really small, I guess, sort of racetrack sort of thing. I think it's more for younger children. They have those same trains from the last video, which are bizarre for which was for a haunted haunted attraction sort of ride. So, haunted house sort of ride is what I was trying to say. So that's interesting. Yeah, I think this park definitely needs an overhaul. It doesn't really look like the best thing in the world, but I guess it's something. And yeah, I mean, let's see. So, what can we actually see like the flat rides they have? I mean, they have like mostly it looks like family more oriented rides, although this is a little scary, might scare some kids a little bit, but yeah, they don't have a whole lot of thrilling rides. So, I guess it might be more, it's probably more of a family park, even though it's called a Crazy Park. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting from it, and it could definitely use some upgrades. Kid City in Indonesia, I'm expecting this to be more of a family style park. They have Jurassic Adventure with the Jurassic font, like from the Jurassic Park movies. Um, it's it's kind of interesting. I think it's like, is it part of a mall or something, or is it just an indoor park? I'm not entirely sure. They have some dinosaurs. This actually looks pretty cool. This carousel, and it's an indoor carousel, so not really much there. I think they actually have looked at this right. They have Speedy Coaster, which is really weird. I like this sign because it has like a, a skeleton or a fossil of a dinosaur eating a car, which doesn't make sense at all, but it's just kind of funny. And I kind of like how you enter through like the bones of uh, a dinosaur. It's just kind of weird. Uh, it's just kind of more funny than anything else. I think this may be the weirdest park of the bunch just because of that one ride. And even Force One coaster is a bit weird, but it looks like a pretty nice, like kind of more indoor style, family style park. It looks pretty solid in that aspect. We have Jalisco Park in Cuba, and this is another park that, well, doesn't look like there's a whole lot to it. Looks almost like a fair. Definitely another one that I think, at least from these pictures, could definitely use some renovation and some better upkeeping. They have this ride, which I've never seen before, so that's interesting. Um, a lot of, yeah, I haven't seen these kinds of rides. They obviously aren't anything that insane, but they're kind of interesting looking. A lot of very small rides, so uh, I think it's just more of a smaller park in general, more meant for like younger kids. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting. I think better upkeep would go a long way for this park because it doesn't look the best right now. And honestly, I think it could be a pretty nice like park for like younger kids to go to if they just upgraded the park and made it look a little nicer, at least from these pictures. The next park we have is Pico's Multi Park in Argentina, and they have some water slides here, which is interesting. So I guess a water park and theme park hybrid. I can't tell what this is. I don't know what that's kind of odd. I'm not entirely sure what this is. It doesn't look like a ride. It looks like almost like a swing. How'd they even get in there? How do you even get in that? I don't know. But that's interesting. They have what looks to be a Trojan horse here and some sort of oh, I guess it's a theater, a 5D theater apparently. So that's interesting. Bumper cars, a play structure that looks pretty interesting, looks really funky. That's kind of cool actually. That's like so interesting looking. So that's kind of cool. They have one. I think it's another flat ride. I think it just kind of bounces, and that's what it does. Not really all too much to this park, but it's, I guess it's nice that there is a park here. Argentina, I don't know if they actually have too much in terms of parks. They don't. So at least they have this park, which looks like it has some cool things to do there. The next park we have is Beijing. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. But this amusement park here in Beijing, they have 4 coasters, and let's check this place out. This castle area actually looks decent. It looks pretty nice with the bridge. It looks pretty solid. We have a sign here that has arrows. The castle here, it looks all right. There's some things like I kind of like what they're trying to go for in some of these instances. I think this is kind of actually under construction. Like I like some of their concepts, I guess, with this castle. I just don't think it looks the best. This Ferris wheel looks very nice. Looks pretty large also. That looks actually pretty cool. It looks like a top scan, but they have what appears to be like a troll or a goblin or something of that sort, like holding it, which is pretty awesome. That's actually pretty cool. I like that a lot. That's pretty weird. We have this building. I don't know if that's trying to be that can't. No, I don't think it's trying to be Big Ben because it doesn't look the same. But it's a giant tower with a clock. We have this flat ride over here, which looks pretty cool. It looks like kind of like the ones that Six Flags was planning to get for some of their parks this year. I think that's what it is. But I forget what that ride is called, unfortunately. They have like an Epcot ball. like something similar. We've seen this with Europa Park and Epcot. They have kind of these like large, like just kind of like ball things in the middle of their park, and it looks like this place has it too, so that's kind of interesting. Wow, a humongous I guess pirate ship, which is awesome. This park, it looks pretty interesting. A Zamperla Disco. There's the how you get up there on the bridge. This park looks interesting, for sure. Um, I mean, this, it looks like this is like kind of their themed, water ride, their themed, like kind of, log style ride. Looks, alright. I wonder how, like, the theming is on the inside, if there is anything. That would definitely interest me. Okay, it looks a little better here, like, when it's complete, or at least when, a different angle of it, the castle looks a lot better, so that's cool. Here's a map that is a little confusing. The ticket booth. Looks like is that supposed to be like a restaurant? That's a very interesting kind of style building. So that's interesting. They have a beer house that's not an actual house, so that's interesting. Yeah. This building looks interesting. Like, there's some things that I think the park had some pretty cool ideas in terms of like some of the styles they were trying to go for with certain theming, certain rides, and certain buildings. And this thing, it's like a double. It has like a, it's not a double down, but I kind of like how this water slide looks. I wonder, yeah, that looks pretty cool. So I guess that's all the, oh wait, no, we're still not done yet. We have Legoland California, which I've been to. Pretty solid park. They don't actually have hardly any pictures of it. The mini land is really cool. And the theming's solid in other areas of the park. It's just nothing that's like absolutely spectacular, but it does look really nice. And then we have Disneyland in Anaheim, California, which weirdly enough, they hardly have any pictures of. Obviously, very well themed, one of the best parks in the world, and of course, the original Disney park, so never can go wrong with it. However, for the best park, I think that Fantasia Land looks like the best, so that's going to be our best park. For our weirdest park, really, I think we're going to go with Kid City. It's just kind of, it's like, it's mostly indoors, but it has just kind of some weird stuff in it, although you could even argue that this park here in Beijing could be, but I'm going to go with Kid City in Indonesia for our weirdest park. So, if you like this video, make sure to like it and also subscribe to the channel if you have not already, as I am trying to reach 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and also make sure to join the new Coaster Hour Discord server, as I have a link to it in the description. If you have a suggestion for this series, also let me know in the comments down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time here on Coaster Hour.